I am Tony Cabbage, and this is 3 coins from my inventory that I am excited about. So I'm going to start this little series. I tend to start series on my YouTube channel, and then I don't really do a second episode. I'm hoping to continue this one moving forward because I think this is a great way to tell you guys a little bit about the coins that I'm excited about and convey my enthusiasm to you, my audience, and the collectors out there. So I want to get started with probably my favorite coin of all time, and one of my favorite coins I've ever owned ever in my inventory, which is this 1907 $20 St. Gaudens high relief double eagle with a wire edge. This is graded by PCGS as AU58 with a CAC sticker. Now, the reason I like this coin so much is actually because of the grade of AU58 CAC. Now, if you've been in this industry or in the market for double eagles and specifically high relief double eagles, you know that there's a lot of these that are available in higher grades like MS62, MS63, MS64, but they carry pretty strong price tags. An MS64 is going to run you $40,000 plus. An MS63 in a PCGS holder is probably going to run you over $30,000. And MS62 is going to run you kind of in the $22,000 to $25,000 range. And for a lot of collectors, that's a good chunk of change for them to come up with to try to get one example of this super iconic, gold coin that was minted only for 1 year. And because of that reason, collectors desire circulated grades of this coin. It allows them to get into the coin at a lower price point. The coin still has all of its features as being the high relief and the design. You get to appreciate and enjoy it. And overall, you don't have to obviously spend a whole ton of cash on it. The other aspect to think about is, of course, when you buy coins, think about your exit strategy. What are you going to do one day when you want to sell the coin? If you're buying a coin that's $30,000, there's a very, very limited market that is going to be able to offer you liquidity for that coin right when you want it. So when it comes to this coin, though, because it's in this AE58 grade, because it's in this about uncirculated grade, I think what you have is you have a number of collectors that have the ability to obtain a coin like this by trading 3, 4, 5 different coins in order to get to one of these coins, a coin of this caliber. And they're willing to do that because 5 of their coins trading into one of their dream coins is totally something that a lot of collectors are willing to do. It's probably, frankly, the way I'm going to end up selling this coin eventually. Is going to be trading it to probably somebody for 5 or 6 coins, which is fine. Moving on, I want to talk real briefly about the silver coin here that I have, this 1892 Carson City in a PCGS Rattler holder, MS62 CAC. This coin, the reason this coin is special is because of 2 things. One is going to be the 1892, Carson City date an issue. That is the 4th most scarce Carson City issue, following the 1899, of course, the 79cc, the 93cc, and then the 92cc. When these come up, collectors typically gather them up and they kind of scoop them up pretty quick. I've never had a problem selling an 1892 Carson City. I think there's a lot of demand for 92cc's. Anyways, the other main reason is because of this holder. This is a PCGS Generation 1 holder. This is the very first holder that PCGS came out with when it started grading in the 1980s. And the coin inside is kind of, it's held within an area that's doesn't hold the coin perfectly in place. So the coin kind of rattles a little bit. It's perfectly safe. There's nothing that's going to happen to the coin, but the coin kind of rattles inside the holder a little bit. It's called a rattler. And oftentimes, when you find these, they're undergraded. That's not a rule. I would not live and die by that rule by any means. One of the very first mistakes I made as an early collector back in like 2015 was I found the first rattler at a coin show and I paid way up for it because I thought it was going to be undergraded just because it was in the holder. Anyways, it's kind of I digress. It was a really poor mistake in my point it's the things you learn about as you grow in this hobby. Anyways, so this coin in this particular holder is what's rare. I wouldn't always recommend paying for plastic, but in the case of this, this is an exceptional piece. The quality of the holder is pristine. And you're not going to find a whole lot of 92 cc's in Rattler holders still. MS62 grade with the CAC sticker, just like this. If you're building a Carson City set of Rattler holders, I would say this is critical and crucial, for your set. The last coin I want to talk about is this 1850 $20 gold piece. The reason I like this coin is because of two things. One is the date, and of course the grade. And the coin is kind of nice too. The coin is interesting. It's very original. But the 1850 grade, I'm sorry, the 1850 year is the first year of issue for the double eagle. They're referred to as Type 1 double eagles because there was two additional types that came out in future decades. I don't remember exactly the dates. I think it's in the 1870s, and then it switches over in the late 1870s to the Type 3 double eagle. Anyways, this is referred to as a Type 1 double eagle. The reason I've owned a lot of 1850s, probably more than other coins that I've owned, especially more than double eagles. I always kind of seek out 1850s because the collectors typically demand them. When you're building a typeset, one strategy of building a typeset when you're looking for just one example of a given type is to go for the very first year of issue. So if you're building a typeset of double eagles or just of gold pieces or coins, U.S. coins in general, you're going to probably look for an 1850. Now, this is also a pretty high grade of AU55. A lot of these went right into circulation. They were circulated. A lot of them that you find in the markets are VF35 through XF45. I've owned AU50s, and I think I've owned an AU53 at one point, I think. But this one is actually AU55. So not a whole lot of circulation here. And if you look at the coin has an interesting look, right? It doesn't exhibit a lot of kind of smoothness that you might see in other double eagles. It doesn't have perfectly kind of centered luster. This coin, I think, went into circulation, and I think this coin bounced around a lot of bags of coins for quite a while. And I think that this coin also just has a lot of honest circulation from being exchanged within banks and with a couple customers, but it didn't spend a whole lot of time in circulation. This coin has a lot of originality and a lot of luster, but it's kind of a little bit modeled, and it has an interesting look to it. I like this coin quite a bit. I think there's a lot of meat on the coin. When people say meat on coins, what it's referring to is like how much detail, how much of the detail do you still have in there? And oftentimes, double eagles, Type 1 double eagles, I don't know, Type 1s, but double eagles are often softly struck, or not just double eagles, but like $10 and $5 and 2.5s. All those Liberty heads, especially along the hairline and along the crown, they're softly struck. And so you don't get a whole lot of the detail on the coin. This coin exhibits a pretty strong strike, and therefore you have a lot of the detail, and we call it meat. I don't know why we say that stuff, but we call it meat. So anyway, this is a piece that I really like, and I think that it's going to do well for you long term because of the 1850 date, and because the grade is actually fairly high of AE55. When you get into MS60, it becomes like I want to say it gets into like it gets pretty expensive. MS coins for this date get into the hundreds of thousands, I do believe. So this coin is considerably less than that. So anyways, hopefully you guys have found all of that interesting and informative and helpful. If you have any questions at all about collecting, about investment strategy with coins, about just about gold and silver in general, or about numismatics in general, reach out to me through the comments, through DMs, send me an email, find my website, cabbagecoins.com, find the email link, send me an email, and let's connect. Let's learn about what it is you collect and what you're interested in. So hopefully you've enjoyed this. Have a good one. Peace.